Welcome, everyone. My name is Pam Sloan, and I am the KVEC Literacy Lead. I'm excited to be here today to dive into the Kentucky Academic Standards for Reading and Writing. Our goal is to ensure that we all have a shared understanding of these standards. The most valuable resource that all teachers have is each other. Without collaboration, our growth is limited to our own perspectives. The quote from Robert John Meehan perfectly captures the spirit of this professional development. Our learning today isn't just about the information, it's about the collective wisdom we can build together. Before we go any further, I'd like for you to take a moment to reflect and take a quick look at these four choices here with about the Kentucky academic standards. Where are you right now? Are you A, you feel confident and use them regularly? B, familiar but still learning how to apply them? C, I've looked at them but need more support? Or D, this is my first real exposure? Please pause the video now to reflect on your response. You can jot it down or share it with a colleague. If you are watching together, keep your answer in mind, and as we explore the standards together, and let's see where you are at the end of the presentation. Now, let's talk about the opportunity myth. Research shows that most students do what they are asked in school, but a significant number are still not prepared for life after graduation. This is because a large portion of their assignments are not at the appropriate grade level. Students spent more than 500 hours on assignments that weren't appropriate for their grade. This is the equivalent of 6 months of wasted class time in each course subject. So, why does this matter for us here in Kentucky? Because access to rigorous grade level standards is essential. This research reinforces the need for clear, coherent, and rigorous Kentucky academic standards. It highlights the importance of equity and access for all students, ensuring every student has the opportunity to excel. Now, as a school leader, you have the opportunity to create a school culture that demands high quality academic experiences for every student. The solution here is to prioritize grade appropriate assignments, strong and engaging instruction, and high expectations. By doing so, we give more students the opportunities they need to succeed. And down here, I have linked in there for you the action guide for leaders. And this is a really good resource to go to when you're thinking about ways that you want to improve assignments in your school, if you want to increase the rigor of those assignments. This is really good to work on in PLCs to think about these things. It's a really good, quick guide that you can refer to. And I've linked that in there for you. Okay. Now, back in 2017, Senate Bill 1 was enacted, which significantly impacted the Kentucky academic standards by establishing a process for reviewing and revising the standards. The goal of this revision was to focus on critical knowledge and skills needed for success in a global economy. The new standards should be fewer and more in depth, clearer for everyone to understand, based on the evidence-based research and aligned from elementary to post-secondary education. So the standards are set up like a stair step from kindergarten all the way up to 12th grade. Every 6 years, Kentucky revises its academic standards to ensure they meet the evolving needs of our students. The current cycle began in the 2024-25 school year with educator panels and public feedback sessions. In the 2025-26 school year, draft standards will undergo review and approval through state processes. By the 2026-27 school year, the revised standards will be implemented in Kentucky classrooms. This systematic approach ensures that our academic standards remain rigorous and responsive to the needs of our students. The Kentucky Academic Standards for Reading and Writing are organized into 6 strands: reading foundational skills in K through 5, reading literature in K through 12, reading informational text in K through 12, handwriting skills in K through 3, composition in K through 12, and language in K through 12. These standards outline what a student should know and be able to do by the end of each grade or grade band. They are designed to strategically stair-step students toward a guiding principle for each standard. If you notice that 9 and 10 and 11 and 12 are set up in these standards in grade bands. So you'll see what I'm talking about in just a moment. The new standards have increased rigor, particularly in the reading, literature, and informational text strands, with a focus on analysis. For example, a kindergarten standard now includes inferences, which was previously a third grade skill. The standards also emphasize the development of schema and content knowledge. Standard 10 addresses the need to teach comprehension strategies, beginning in kindergarten and continuing through grade 12 because of their importance in aiding comprehension and analysis. This document provides 3 different views of the standards to help us understand them better. The grade level view shows the strands and the coding, the breakdown view with progressions, and the multidimensionality view. So if you'll take a look at that for just a second, um, up here we have the grade, and then the strand name is here, reading standards for informational text. These are the strand categories. Over here you have the standards, the standard codes, and we'll talk about what those mean in just a second. And then the interdisciplinary literacy practices are over here. And this is the grade level view. These 3 views help us move beyond just a quick read of the standards and really understand their depth and purpose. Now, of course, this is the grade level view. And then you have the breakdown view with progressions, which is a cool way to see how a single skill grows and builds across different grade levels. And then you have the multidimensionality view, which shows us the different layers of a single standard. Okay. And once again, we're seeing the breakdown view with the progressions and the multidimensionality view. This is the uh, breakdown view with the progressions. You have your guiding principle at the top. The guiding principle or broader goal by graduation is located at the top of the standard breakdown. The progression places the main standard in the middle. The matching standard for the preceding grade to the left, and grade after standard to the right. And then, of course, you have your multidimensionality view. The dimensionality of the main standard, the standard in the middle of the progression above, is provided. So if you look down here, this is from the one in the middle, and there's a breakdown with color coding. Green is for comprehension. Purple or bold is for analysis. The maroon or the caps is the content. And we'll talk about what those mean in just a little bit. To help you find your way around the document, it's helpful to know the coding system. Each standard has a two-letter abbreviation for the strand, followed by the grade level and the standard number. For instance, RL stands for reading literature, RI for reading informational text, and C is for composition, and so on, language, handwriting, and reading foundational skills. These are their abbreviations. It's a simple way to quickly understand what each standard is about. So if you look up here and you're looking at this sample, you have RL is reading literature. The grade level in the middle is grade 7, and it's standard 2. Okay. At the top of each standard, you'll see something called a guiding principle. Think of these as the big picture goals for our students. They are broad statements that describe what we want students to be able to do by the time that they graduate. The guiding principles are designed to show how all the standards build on each other to support the learning journey over time. Your guiding principles, and this is for reading literature and informational text. So notice that those are the same. And it says over here, the guiding principles are listed on every grade level standards page and viewable within each standard breakdown. So remember, there's one at the top of each standard breakdown. Okay, here's another view of the standard breakdown. Remember, you have that graduation cap, and down here, this is the standard breakdown key. That graduation cap means that that is the guiding principle. It signifies the guiding principles as they are broad statements about the expectations for students as they prepare for life after high school. And then you have that progression. The arrow signifies the progression of the standards as they advance from kindergarten to grade 12. And then that multidimensionality, thus the layers that signify the standard is coded to reflect the content, comprehension, and analysis within the standard. So remember, we have that maroon is the content, the green is the comprehension, and the purple is the analysis. So here the content would be to quote accurately from the text Green is the comprehension, to explaining what the text says explicitly, and then your analysis when drawing inferences from the text. So you can kind of see how that's broken down into the three different dimensions. Okay, so why are these multiple dimensions so important? By doing this, the document gives us so much more clarity, helping us align our lessons and our assessments to the right depth and rigor. Okay, to make it even easier, the Kentucky Academic Standards uses a simple coding system to show the three dimensions. And we talked about these a little bit earlier. So if you want to refer back, you can look at this page. It says that content is the words in all cap and maroon because some schools don't have color copiers readily available. So I think most of us have a hard copy or we can grab our computer. But anyway, that's the reasoning behind using caps. So it's caps or maroon for the content. And these are the tools of an author and the objects of literacy woven into the skills students must access and apply when developing comprehension and performing analysis. So there's some examples down here of what the content is. And then you have your comprehension, words in italics and in green. This concrete dimension requires the objective understanding of a text, topic, or convention of language. And down here some of the comprehension, decoding language, words in context, um, being able to effectively summarize or retell to comprehend what's been read, knowing the grammar rule. And over here is analysis, the words in bold and in purple. This abstract dimension requires more than objective understanding of main ideas and key details. The ability to read between or above the lines is how students become critical thinkers. And some examples of analysis, critical reading to determine underlying meaning and purpose, determining why an author made particular choices, being able to effectively explain inferences and what is implied. And down at the bottom, you'll notice reading for informational text, uh, grade 7, standard 2. This is what that looks like in 7th grade. This standard is broken down into the multidimensionality view. And that's to determine, that's analysis. Central ideas is the content of a text, and analyze their development is analysis. And then through citing, textual evidence, paraphrasing, or summarizing, of course, is that comprehension. And then look down here, that same standard in 1st grade. So look at the differences in the standard, in the rigor of the standard, and in the multidimensionality. Okay. You can see this multidimensionality in action on these next few slides. The examples of the kindergarten and 5th grade composition standards and the comparison of the reading literature and informational text standards all show how a skill grows in complexity. You'll notice that the foundational skills like quoting evidence or making inferences are revisited at different grade levels, but they're always a little bit more sophisticated each time. So let's take a look at this one. There's kindergarten. It's a composition standard number 2. And we'll take a look at the coding for multidimensionality. They're needing to know the conjunctions and transitions. And let's take a look at a 5th grade composition standard. And they're expected to use grade appropriate conjunctions to develop text structure within sentences. They're expected to use grade appropriate transitions. So do you see how that changes from kindergarten to 5th grade? Then let's take a look at these next few slides. Okay, here we have the reading for literature and the reading for informational text. And you can see as you're going up same standards, or you're going through the grade levels, first of all, notice that the reading literature and the reading for informational text are basically the same. Okay, so, but let's look at that same standard and how it stair steps from grade 1, and this slide goes, or sorry, grade K to grade 5, and then here we have grade 6, same standard, to grade 11, 12 grade band. Do you see how those grade bands are listed? Okay, and you can see how it stair steps and builds on the standard in the grade above or below. Okay, with this deeper understanding, let's bring it back to our classrooms. I want you to ask yourself a couple of questions. Are you truly making sure that your lessons are aligned to the Kentucky academic standards? What goes through your mind when you're creating an assignment and trying to align it with the standards? All right, now let's have a little fun with this. Let's look at these 2 example assignments. One is a Venn diagram for comparing and contrasting, and the other is a character chart for To Kill a Mockingbird. Based on what we've discussed about the 3 dimensions, are these assignments truly aligned with the Kentucky academic standards? Are they hitting the depth and the rigor we want for our students? The great news is that you don't have to figure it out all on your own. This is a resource from the KentuckyStandards.org website. There are so many more amazing resources available to support you. A wonderful place to start is the website. You'll find all kinds of resources there, including a truly helpful tool called the Reading and Writing a Student Assignment Library. Let's take a look at this. So if you click on the implementation resources, or go to the resources, your standards resources, and then you click on reading and writing resources, then go to the student assignment library. Click on the one with the 3 lines. This library is such a lifesaver. It has a collection of pre-made, high-quality assignments that are already aligned with the standards. You'll see examples for different grade levels. Each assignment includes a description, the text it uses, the standards it meets, and a clear explanation of why it works. So let's think now back to that third grade reading and writing assignment where they use the Venn diagram. It says use information from the text to compare and contrast the migratory journeys of whales and locust. Use the Venn diagram to organize the information. So if you take a look at that at the top, it does tell us it's partially aligned. And I'm going to take us to that tab that I have pulled up, the assignment library, and go down. And we're going to look at that assignment. And it says that it is partially aligned. Okay. Now, this takes us to that assignment in the assignment library. And it shows us the overview. It tells us about the author, the title, the lexile level. It tells us about the book, the genre of the book. It tells us the related standards and why it's partially aligned. And I thought this is really good for us to be able to look at and see why it's partially aligned, for us to compare our own lessons. It says this assignment is partially aligned because the text is adequately complex and the task has some strengths, but the questions could be more strongly aligned to the depth of the standards. So I really like that. I really like this feature. It gives us something that we can look and some examples to go by. We all love those examples. Okay, here's that seventh grade reading assignment as well. And they tell us that it is partially aligned. So if you go back to that reading and writing assignment uh, library, you'll see why this is partially aligned. We're not going to take the time to do that right now, but please go in there and look at those. There's really good resources in there. This is how you access that reading and writing student assignment library one more time. You go to KentuckyStandards.org. You click on Content Area Resources, Reading and Writing. You go to the Student Assignment Library, and then it shows you the two that we looked at, and there's lots more in there. Okay, there's just another view. Okay. Another fantastic tool is the assignment review protocol. This is a great resource for working in professional learning communities. It helps you determine if an assignment is truly aligned with the standards by asking these three key questions. This will be something really good, a really good activity for your PLCs. These are those three key questions. What grade level Kentucky Academic Standards for Reading and Writing Standard is this assignment focused on? If the assignment uses text, are those text high quality and right for the grade level? And does the assignment really contain tasks that get to the full depth of the standard? All right, here is that assignment review protocol. And one of the things it asks is, does this assignment align with the expectations defined by grade level standards, including a high quality text and text-based questions? And if you go down, they're asking yes or no, and for you to give that evidence. To complete the standards content section of the assignment review protocol, teachers must know, like we just said, does the assignment align with the expectations defined by grade level standards, including high quality text and text-based questions, and also know what grade level for Kentucky Academic Standards reading and writing does the assignment focus on. Is this assignment based on one or more text? And if the assignment is based on one or more text, are they high quality and grade appropriate? As well as does this assignment contain questions and or tasks that reach the depth and the grade of the grade level standards? To answer those questions, it's so important that we as teachers have the knowledge to break down a standard. Luckily, the KentuckyStandards.org website has so many resources to help, including guides on how to break down standards, professional learning modules, and assignment review protocol, like we just talked about. We're never alone in this work. To make it even simpler, there is a resource called The 5 Steps to Breaking Down a Reading and Writing Standard. It's a straightforward guide that walks you through the process step by step. This resource is designed to help you make the most of the standard breakdown view that's built right into the Kentucky Academic Standards document. It's a powerful way to see all the pieces of a standard, the guiding principle, the progression, and the multidimensionality, and truly understand how they all fit together. Let's take a look at this. Step 1 is the broader goal, the guiding principle. Step 2, the background skills. Look at the standard before, the grade level before, and then what do they need to know? What does the standard say? What do they need to know? And then step 4, what does the grade level above say? What are the expectations? What do they need to be able to do? And then, of course, you have your multidimensionality questions at the bottom for content, comprehension, and analysis. This resource is designed to help you make the most of the standard breakdown view that's built right into the Kentucky Academic Standards document. It's a powerful way to see all the pieces of a standard, the guiding principle, the progression, and the multidimensionality, and truly understand how they all fit together. Okay, here's another view of the breaking down a standard for a reading and writing standard resource. And so this is something that I want to leave you with. This is a document from Carissa, and if you click in there, it gives you all kinds of uh, resources from the Carissa team. And it just stopped shared, so I will share again because I want you to see this. Okay, this is the document itself, and if you look at there, there's all kinds of resources. It takes you to the Kentucky Academic Standards. There's composition resources. There's Reading and Writing Standards Implementation Guide. Um, at a Glance, that's a really good document. Breaking down a reading and writing standard. Those are on the website, but this is just all put together in one place. The reading and writing professional learning modules, the reading and writing course codes, standards documents. So I just wanted to share that with you to let you know what was in there for you to take a look at that. There's some really good things in there for you to be resources for you to be able to use. Okay. Now, thank you so much for taking the time with me today. We have covered a lot, and my biggest hope is that you're walking away with a few key takeaways. You should now have a clearer understanding of what our students really need, the essential tools to plan your lessons with purpose, and most importantly, the confidence to implement everything with intention. Um, you've got this. Now, it's time to take this knowledge and go teach and lead boldly, whether you are a teacher or a principal, and maybe just maybe reward yourself with a good book or maybe a well-deserved nap. Thank you again for being here, and I'm going to share my contact information. Um, Thank you so much for your participation today. Have a good day.